What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. I know a lot of you guys have noticed that a lot of travel vloggers and African Americans who live in Africa are talking about they want to go home or they're going home, right? And mainly it's the passport bros or a bunch of it's usually a bunch of ladies, females, right? Who make videos. They're all most of them in Ghana or they're in Kenya, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going home. I'm going home," and they make up some story about why they're going home, right? But here's the truth: a lot of these content creators who went to Africa, especially the ones who were passport bros, right? There was a time when passport bros was popping off, so traveling all over the world became like a good way to make money because everybody was watching. Then a lot of them ended up in Kenya and Ghana, right? And they figured they can continue that passport bro activity there. When they got to Africa, even though they like it, they realized Africa, even though it does have, what would you say, an adult industry, all right? Because passport bros are just dudes going buying prostitutes on the cheap. That's what they are. They're just sex travelers, right? It's not that it's not that robust in Africa, right? And African countries don't particularly condone you doing that, as you can see, right? And a lot of these individuals, outside of being socially awkward, right, and you know having their fan base live vicariously through them, a lot of them are not that interesting, and they're not really content. They really don't have any good content. Like they don't make good content, right? You notice a lot of the ladies, they make fake drama. So they talk about stuff. They got a lot of clickbaity videos where they're not saying nothing, right? They done ran out of topics because they're not really in depth with anything. They're just, hey, look at me, I'm over here. But there's so many people saying, hey, look at me over here. Nothing that they say is interesting. So that means they're not making the money they used to make, right? And a lot of these cats got started during COVID, and when COVID, everybody was sitting at home, YouTube was popping off, man. People subscriptions, freaking skyrocketed. People was getting 100,000 subscribers. They was getting super chats. They was going live. They was doing all this shit was sweet, right? But now that people, got other things to do other than sit online and live vicariously through these people who are willing to travel, the money ain't as good as anymore. And the YouTube algorithm has changed. So no matter how many subscribers you got, if you notice, if you're a YouTuber, right, your subscribers are not being told that you made a video, right? And if you, the end user, the one who's watching, you notice the people you subscribe to, you don't get notifications for their videos. So it's real hard to be an African content creator when you really don't have any talent outside of people just wanting to see you travel so they can see what's on the screen, not necessarily you, but what's on the screen, right? When you can't provide that, right, you're not making that money. Like, look at Austin Holloman. He done tried to switch up several times. It's not as good as it used to be, right? It's just not popping off. So that means these content creators who used to be able to make a video get 50, 60, 70,000 views easily. Now they got to pump out quantity because they're getting 1,000-2,000 views. If they say something that seems to be kind of controversy, they may get 7,000, 20,000, but they only get like 20,000, 30,000 when they're saying something dramatic or saying something derogatory or disrespectful about the country in order to get some clickbait, right? But after a while, that clickbait shit don't work because when they click on it, they realize you ain't saying nothing, or they realize you saying the same thing over and over and over again, or you don't provide any value in your show because you don't got talent, right? And for the women, you can only talk about, what she said so many times. You can only talk about you breaking up with your boyfriend so many times. Y'all know who that is. Y'all know the one in Ghana. She always breaking up with her boyfriend. Every video is a clickbait. There's always some drama, spilling some tea that's not really hot. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna spill tea, it gotta be hot. And if your tea lukewarm, ain't nobody gonna tune in because there's other people who have more talent and they're in the country and they're actually doing something. Plus, a lot of these people are broke. They actually was making their money off YouTube. They were doing their African travels, or even if they're in Thailand, like a lot of them are going to Thailand because Thailand is an easier place to live, right? But even a lot of people in Thailand, they're coming back home because it's not as sweet as people think. You think you're gonna go to Thailand and you're gonna make content, people are gonna want to watch that, but there's a million other people in Thailand making the same content. So you're gonna end up making 30, 40, 50, 60 videos a goddamn day trying to make up for that money you was making when shit was sweet, and you can make 1, 2 videos a week and it was funding your life. A lot of these people don't have any businesses. They didn't establish themselves in these countries. They don't have nothing going on other than making YouTube videos, having people watch them. They're slaves to the algorithm. And so when the money started drying up, guess what they do? They got to get on that plane and they got to bring their ass home. Go back to their mama house, right? Go back to their sister house, their cousin's house, because they abandoned America thinking that this was going to last forever. And nothing lasts forever. So if you're a content creator and you want to go travel the world, you best be making some money outside of YouTube, outside of content creation. Because unless you got some actual talent and some value to give to somebody, it's only a matter of time before, the party's over. So y'all people, all these content creators skipping out. They're gonna make all kind of excuses why they leaving. But the truth is they broke because they're not making money. And they can't afford to live the lifestyle in Africa, because as cheap as Africa is, it's not really cheap. To live anywhere independently outside of America, you're going to need money, including Thailand. All right, so them ones be going home too. So all your Colombians, your Brazilians, and you're going to Africa, all these travel vloggers, they're going to make their way back to the U.S., where they're going to have to get a job to make money because YouTube is not paying out like it used to be. Anyway, I hope that clarifies. If y'all was wondering, like, what's up with all these people going home? All these videos, I'm going back home. They making all these bullshit ass excuses, but in fact, they broke. They ain't got no money because the views ain't coming in, and they're boring because they don't have talent, and they can't make up a bunch of clickbaity drama enough to make anybody click and watch their videos, because you can only do that shit so many times. You can only clickbait people so many times with your false drama, with your fake drama, your fake stories, that you make up to get people to click your videos. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this in the comment sections. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.